Good evening. I'm Roxy.
And I'm Diana.
Switched it up on you.
Good evening. Today, I'm sorry. Okay. This is We Watch Stupid. We don't say things like good evening here.
Okay.
This is We Watch Stupid. Today, we have just watched the Tellar Part 1. I'm so glad there's a part 2 of season 6 of Before the 90 Days.
This was like so much. One thing I was wondering about is like Statler and Christian. Do you think they would have? Because you're watching 90 Day UK right now. Do you think they would have been a
Yeah.
good fit for this season's 90 Day UK or not?
No, because nothing happens with them. Like 90 Day UK is really fast moving,
Yeah.
and like the language barrier is like
Oh yeah.
key.
Good point. Good point. Okay. So we have that out of the way. The production is tyrannical on this one. They cut Nicola like 3 times trying to make him look transphobic, and like that's not what happened.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was super shitty. Like what are they trying to do here? I mean, to be honest, I don't really care if they assassinate Nicola's character, but I just thought it was a really shitty way to do
I
it.
thought I was expecting it to be a lot worse, like the things that came out of his mouth based on the like up next.
Luke was saying, just with regard to Tyree being on a screen and then us eventually talking to the guy that catfished him. Like, oh, my partner's name is Luke. He said, can you imagine being a catfish and then getting roped into the show?
That might be the dream.
Like, shit just escalated. Like, shit just got so real so quickly. Like, you went from like fucking around getting like $50 on Snapchat every other month to like being on like an internationally televised reality show. Like, who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, they're big fish, or now they're small fish in an ocean versus a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah, I guess so.
Catfish. Oh, Tyree. He was ill, so he couldn't be there in person. And then he coughed.
Yeah, or because they were never going to have him there in the first place. And they were like, say you're sick.
Really drive it home with that cough.
I know, right? Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about like them coming into the green room.
So they asked Dempsey if she has diarrhea.
I don't think they asked her. I think she volunteered it.
She's just like, hey, I'm here. I don't have diarrhea yet. Just because I know you were wondering. Oh my God.
I thought it was kind of funny funny is the wrong word, but I appreciated it when she said something like, I'm a little nervous to meet Meisha. She looks gorgeous, but she's very Christian and I'm very gay.
I kind of took umbrance. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but I take issue with that. That's a better word. I'm just going to say that. I took issue with that because like I have 2 gay uncles. One's no longer with us, but they grew up in a Christian household or a Catholic household, excuse me. Like my dad's family is super Catholic because my grandpa's Filipino. And like them being gay, I'm sure it wasn't easy at first, but like I saw them be accepted. And like, I don't know, I have a really good friend from grad school who's like gay and Catholic. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely different cases, different situations. I don't think
sure.
it's a blanket statement. I think where Statler was coming from was how uber religious and, her boyfriend like just quotes the Bible constantly.
Yeah, I think she's projecting Nicola's religion onto Meisha, which is like probably appropriate, but in some instances not. I'm like so curious how it shakes out when he gets to Michigan. I imagine they're probably on whatever next show, whatever next franchise.
I have a lot to say about Meisha and Nicola when we get to them, but
Oh,
so
yeah, Rich.
to continue with, like, their, like, intros or whatever. So, like, when the first, like, couple of them come in, it's, like, friendly and yeah, then Christian comes in and is like, "They probably all think I'm a booze hound and a charmer." And I'm like, "That's a really nice description of yourself, sir."
I know, right? That's exactly what I put. He thinks people think he's a charmer, which like really shows us what he thinks about himself. He actually comes off as a drunk creep. So I'm glad he has high self-esteem, but like that's not what's happening here.
Exactly. Statler hates Jasmine, thinks she's toxic. She just, like, came right out and said it.
And we must protect Gino at
I
all
know
costs.
Gino needs protection.
I no longer think that Gino is scum of the earth. We need to protect him from Jasmine. I think what people miss so much of in like discussing this their relationship in general, but like specifically this season is that Gino is into this. Like Gino
Yeah.
let Gino like wanted her to pee on him, which is like a dominance thing. Like he's into being submissive. And
Yeah.
like people like can't fathom like a submissive man, like a man wanting to be submissive. And I think that's what's going on here. Like they have like a dom sub relationship and Jasmine is the dominant one and that's how it works for them.
She's the producer.
Exactly.
She's the writer.
Director, yeah. Did you notice how poorly he was acting? We'll get there, but like he is such a bad actor. It's like insane. Like they need I don't want them to break I don't want them to break up because they're like comedy gold, but also I would like Jasmine to have a better improv partner.
Oh, that's well said. Yes. Did Jasmine actually say, "I made it to America, bitches"? After they were all talking about how they were glad that they were gonna see her in person. It was so great.
It was so funny how they were like filming her like stiletto heels like slowly
Mhm.
tapping in, like slowly arriving. It's like who yeah, we know who this is. Like why are y'all being weird about it? Oh my god.
Then freaking Amanda shows up in, like, a weirdo crop top and then just beelines to a chair and doesn't say hi to anyone like a jerk.
Yeah, that was so bizarre. I mean, this whole tell all really shows you who Amanda is and like who she thinks she is, and they could not be further apart. And
Like Christian.
yeah, she's way more Delulu than Christian though. Like this tell-all thus far has kind of humanized Christian for me, but we also haven't like really talked about their relationship. But like Amanda just like she's really like an alien on Earth. Like she is
Yeah.
so bizarre. She's just a bizarre person.
So they get onto the stage and Jasmine's kind of like acting coy at times. It was like awesome.
Yeah.
And then like I don't remember in past tell-alls where they're in each other's business so much, where they're like unprompted and just saying things just to each other.
I think it depends on the cast, but I think at this point, like we know that sometimes production is like coaching them along the way and being like, you need to go after so and so for such and such. I don't feel like it was like, sometimes you watch a tell on, you're like, they were coached on this. I didn't feel like that way, but I think maybe they were just like, let loose, go
Okay.
ahead,
Yeah,
you
because
know?
like Statler said a bunch of stuff. Jasmine obviously was gonna say a bunch of stuff. Christian opened his mouth a bunch. Misha was talkative at times as well. And then Riley.
Yeah, you're right. They are kind of coming at each other. I mean, Then we go onto the stage and we see Shaun Robinson, who is basically like the Beyonce of reality television because this woman, she's 60. Did you know she's 60?
Oh, whoa. She
Woman
looks so good.
woman is 60. Like,
Wow.
what is she doing? She's drinking blood. Like, every
Okay.
time I see
I'll do
her,
that too.
I know, right? Like, every time I see her, I'm just like, how do you stay so freaking radiant? It's incredible. Razvan is wearing a see-through shirt.
Yes, he is. I can't wait to hear from him next episode. Cleo looks good.
Yeah, she looks
Cleo
really
looks
good.
really good. I wanted to ask you, do you agree with Sheila on David's beard?
I like the beard. I think it's good
Covers
for
up the red.
yeah, it does. Comes up the red and gives him more of that jawline that I was horny for in his, like, younger picture. Like, you can kinda it just gives a little bit more definition, so, you know, the David that I know and love.
Okay, do you wanna go in order? You wanna start with Gino and
Yeah, I
Jasmine?
don't think there's any other way because they just kind of
Yeah. Mhm.
freaking go around. So oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
They do, like, little catch-ups, though, with the couples.
Oh, yeah, they did. So, it's basically Cleo and Christian, they're still together. I don't know what Misha said, but I said, "Shut up, Misha."
Misha and Rosvin come at Christian and, like, call him a playboy or whatever. Yeah, David and Sheila yeah, Sheila hates his beard. Amanda and Razvan is really weird. Razvan
Yeah,
like, what did how did you interpret what he said?
that they're not together.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. He said he need to step back to be ready for a stronger relationship or, like, a more important relationship, and so, yeah, I think that's what that means. I hope he's not, like, leading us on in a weird way 'cause they don't need to be together.
No. I mean, he looks so good in that see-through shirt,
Maybe that's why he wore it.
probably.
Yeah.
Riley and Violet aren't together. Gino said something that I said, "Shut up."
Meisha and Nicola said they've been apart for a year, and then Jasmine asked about heavy petting. Asked Nicola if there's gonna be heavy petting. Still unclear if he knows what that means.
He sure doesn't. He sure doesn't. And then Misha, at this point in the tell-all, says that they're still waiting on the annulment decision.
Lie.
Lie.
She lied to us.
She lied to us.
And then Statler and Dempsey, Statler says or Dempsey says Statler is the most important in person in Dempsey's life, and they haven't moved in together yet, but we'll get there. They weird. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Jasmine has been in the States for just a few days, and she starts out with a bang saying that when God created Michigan, he didn't intend for people to live there.
I mean, could you imagine going from literal tropical paradise to
No. I mean, Panama was really sticky hot, but then to like, I don't think you might die.
if you go too fast, if you move too
Yeah.
fast?
Mhm.
I've never been to Michigan, but oh wait, I had a
But you've been
roommate
to
in
cold places.
Denver, yeah, who was from Michigan and can confirm she was like as weird, if not weirder than Gino. So
Whoa.
I don't know what that's about.
Wait, was this with was it the blonde girl?
Yes.
Yes, I remember her. She really liked you.
She really did. I think she was, like, very, very gay on the inside and couldn't let it be outside. Too bad.
Yeah. Anyway,
Uh,
okay, so yeah, I think Jasmine's perfect. I kind of agree with her. I've never been to Michigan either, but yeah,
sounds about right.
maybe yeah. So while they're, like, doing it's not even a recap, it's just a, like, clip of when she's talking to Dane in the park about Gino and her sex life. Her face, like, in the little box was just, like, incredible. She was just, like, couldn't give a fuck, like, whatever, like
I think Jasmine, more than any other cast member, has endured the most kind of like online hate for the longest. And so I think at this point, like, how many fucks can you give? Like, she's already, like, gotten her entire face, like, cut open and replaced. She's put it on YouTube. She's, like, put all her, like, dirty laundry in her relationship on TV. Like, come at me, haters. I don't care. It's very zen. I kind of love it.
Um, so is this the acting part from Gino that you were talking about? Where he's just, like, acting like he's like, why would you call him baby?" And, like, "Just talking about our sex life is inappropriate." And it's like, clearly they've already hashed all this out.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so she's like they have this video of her telling Dane that she's dry as sand when she's around Gina. Which is just such a great way to put it. That's how I would feel around Gino for sure. Everyone gets so awkward. Like Jasmine hasn't said the most disgusting shit about sex this entire season.
Okay, I don't even think that Jasmine is saying the most disgusting thing about sex, like Statler stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, and Gino's just like being a terrible actor. He goes, "A goodbye dinner? What the fuck is that?" Like
And then Amanda's like, "So you went on a date?" But the director of this telenovela was she perfectly he proposed
Oh god, it was
a
awesome.
goodbye dinner. What date was it? When was this goodbye dinner?
I think it was on the 14th of February. I we didn't even know until we go to the restaurant, and it was all there were like balloons and hearts everywhere. It was so weird.
I love her so much. I wanna hug her.
Well, she also says that like February 14th is like Friends Day, so it could very well be something different in
You know,
Panama.
Galentine's Day.
Exactly. Yeah, like why is everyone so sure that Valentine's Day is this international holiday?
It kinda is, though.
I guess. Yeah, but it's also made up. Like
100% it's made up. I once went on a first date on Valentine's Day.
on purpose?
No, not on purpose, and I remember, like, telling the guy, I was like, "That's" and he was foreign. It was in Australia, and I remember, like, telling the guy, I was like, "Just so you know, like, it's Valentine's Day," and he's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter, like, it doesn't matter here." He wasn't Australian, but
I was going to say, don't you mean, "Oh, it doesn't matter?"
no, he was French. You know me and those French guys.
Oh, right, yeah, yeah. I remember this one.
No, it's a different one.
Oh. Oh, there's a pattern here.
Yes,
Interesting.
there's a pattern. Or maybe he was Dutch? Whatever. Okay. But there was definitely, like, some loss in translation where I was like, "Okay, cool, like, doesn't like, no pressure," but then once we got to, like, the restaurant, it was, like, a deal.
Yeah. Like, do you want to see the menu and it's only one thing and it's a pre-fee like
Yeah.
Valentine's couple thing where you have to like lick it off the plates together?
Yeah.
I just love watching Gino be such a bad actor.
Yeah. Dude, and then, like, the backstage part where she's like, "You have to start, like, being in my corner,"
Yeah.
while everyone's talking about how she's toxic.
I
And she's
know.
essentially threatening him loosely.
I know. What does she say? She goes, "Deal with it."
How about when Christian calls her an attention whore?
Oh my god. She's so this is the thing. She's like so used to the hate. She immediately throws it back. It was beautiful to watch. She's like attention whore, sees attention whore. We're attention whores. Like shut up. Also like Christian saying like what if he pulls some line like, "Oh, should go downstairs and like go to my place and have a bottle of wine." I'm like, You're here saying you're not a drunk creep, yet you have like the exact like this is the exact line you've probably used on multiple people to get them to go down to your mom's
But
basement.
just platonically, okay? There's nothing about the way he approaches women in bars that they could interpret as sexual.
Okay, let's just platonically go down to my mom's basement where, yes, I do live and have a bottle of wine together on my bed. I mean, nothing weird or creepy about that. I'm not trying to like get in your pants.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it definitely is charming.
Oh, so charming.
Yeah. And then I think it was Misha who asked Gino, like, what would be the last straw?
Oh my God, love this. Love Misha for asking it and love his answer.
When she cheats.
That's it. That's his only
Yeah.
boundary. That's literally like the only boundary he will ever have in his life is cheating.
Yeah. And then Jasmine, just like she phrases everything like a telenovela, okay? Because she had said that she had a sex tape that she had sex with Dane a month before, and it was on video, and then she goes, if you could do it, actually.
Well, I do have a sex tape, but it's from like a while ago. I don't know if I'm doing it right.
"Yes, we have a sex tape. It's from months before I met Gino."
Right.
Like, that's not the tape that you were being asked about.
I know, right? It's perfect. Oh my goodness. She also, like, before we get to the sex tape, she says that she and Dane had so much sex that they were disgusted by
They were
having
bored
more
with it.
sex. They had so much sex they were bored with it, and that's why there's no possible reason that she would ever like make this Valentine's date into something more than platonic. And I just our unhinged thing to say. Like that's completely insane. And yet I accept it.
'Cause it comes from her mouth.
Yeah, I internalize it as gospel truth and I'm probably going to use that again someday. Like that's incredible.
Oh, man. Yeah, so she has sex tapes on the cloud, and then she's like, "No, on, like, a thumb drive."
Well, Riley is like on the cloud. On the cloud.
"Send
Like,
it on over."
yeah.
Gino asked to see it.
I know. Just for the date. Just for the date it was recorded. Yeah, just so I can see the date it was recorded. Fucking perv. He wants to be a he wants to be a cuck so bad. He would get
Yeah,
so rock hard.
they should just do it. They should just do that.
I know. Yeah, she still knows Dane. She has his number.
Yeah.
Dane can get to the US. He's Australian. No problem.
Yeah.
She says she'll delete the video. She's never watched it. I'm curious why she does have it, but
Dude, I'd keep it.
yeah, you keep
I'd keep it.
it.
Yeah,
Watch it when you're like 70. Remember your like rock hard bod.
totally. 100%.
Good point. I also like that Jasmine said she's not going to feel bad about her past. I guess she does this when she's kind of like screaming at him backstage. She's not going
Mhm.
to feel bad about her past and he needs to
She
deal with it.
shouldn't.
Exactly. Yeah, I love her. That's why she's an icon. She's the moment. She's mother.
Mhm.
Yeah. We also find out that she's only been with her ex-husband and Dane
Oh, we do? I missed that part.
before Gino. That's what she says.
But what about with Gino? Do we believe her?
I don't know because I suspect that the person that she's calling her sister on the show is her daughter.
What?
Yeah.
You haven't said that before. What?
Oh, I haven't?
Not to me.
quote unquote she was, like, sharing the apartment with her quote unquote "sister,"
Yeah.
but then we see that her actual sister, the one that takes her to the embassy, is, like, closer to her age, and this, like, girl that's living with her in the two-bedroom apartment that Gino's paying for and they're fighting over is, like, a teenager.
Yeah. And that had the birthday. They had the
Yeah.
birthday with her, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, drink, with the gelato or whatever, but I think she's saying that that little girl is her sister because she wants us to think that she's 36,
Oh, and you
but
don't think she's
I don't
36.
think she's 30. I don't think she's 36 by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, I think that's her oldest daughter who's, like, in her later teens, and then she had 2 sons with, like, someone else. Wait, no, but
Interesting.
I think she had a son, 1 son with her ex-husband and then 1 son with someone else. So that's at least 3 dicks before Dane, and then Gino. So she is still lying to us, but I whatever. She can lie if she wants about her sexual history.
Okay, anything else with them?
Gino, take an improv class. I'm sure there's plenty in Detroit. It's probably not that far of a drive from you. Just get it
Mhm.
together.
Okay, Dempsey and Statler. Oh
So
my god.
they open up with this, like, unseen footage of Statler nearly peeing herself and, like, jumping out of bed and then sitting on the toilet and then starting to shit, and then Dempsey screaming at her and making her go outside, and then her having taking a caveman shit in a field.
Yeah, she pooped on camera. She pooped on
Yeah.
camera
Well, it's not her first time.
and shat in a field on camera.
It's I'm like, "Why are they filming? Why are they filming at this time of night?"
Mm. Okay, that and then can we just jump to the other unseen or, like, never before seen footage
What
of,
was
like,
that?
Dempsey saging her vagina
Oh,
more and that
that felt very produced to me, like, they were just fucking around.
okay, but then
Fingers herself.
yeah, that I was like, "On camera, dude, even if you're not doing anything, you know what we all think you're doing."
Oh my
Like
god. She's so yeah, she just has no boundaries with these cameramen. They just, like, say they suggest something and she just takes it to the logical conclusion.
the logical conclusion.
Her for her. Logical conclusion for her. The most extreme conclusion, which is the one for her. I just kept thinking, I think that Statler could probably benefit from some pelvic floor therapy because she's just pissing and shitting herself all the time. And yeah, I I did that earlier this year and they didn't end up finding anything that I needed to like work on, but I think it can be really helpful for people that are
Oh,
pissing and shitting themselves.
but you aren't pissing and shitting yourself.
Well, I was like doing CrossFit classes and it was like a little hard for me to hold in my pee when I was like jumping around that much. But
Mhm.
now I just don't do CrossFit and jump around that much. No
Yeah.
need.
I'm having some issues too, but it's because there's a baby pressing on my bladder. But I'm not shitting myself.
Yeah, you shouldn't be shitting yourself. You should be able to control your butthole when you're 33. I'm pretty sure that's how old she is. Yeah. When you're 33 and not pregnant. I think you're allowed to poop yourself a little when you're pregnant even, but yeah, you're 33, you're not pregnant, you should probably be able to not shit yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so we find out that in a few weeks, Statler is moving to the UK. They're going to buy a camper van and they're going to drive around and you look exhausted. What do you need to say? Please express yourself.
They're gonna start a van life YouTube channel like it's 2017.
Or 2020. Did people do that in 2017?
I feel like that was like peak,
No, van life is definitely pandemic.
but it was like
Anyway,
going on. Yeah,
well,
it's
you're
been
you're
going
hipper
on.
than me.
Not
hipper.
not always, but yeah, I just remember someone sending me this YouTube video of, like, people just being the most obnoxious van lifers, and it was around that time. But, yeah, I'm exhausted by this already because I think that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna try and make their living being van life influencers, and it's gonna be hell of annoying.
Mm. But no, Statler's gonna be working. Dempsey's gonna get, like, jobs here and there. And then there was this super awkward, kinda disrespectful exchange where Statler says that she wants a partner who is financially independent as well.
Well, Statler, like, brags about how she's gonna work from home and she's gonna be the breadwinner for a few months, and then Dempsey looks super irritated when she says, "I'm gonna be the breadwinner," and then more irritated when Statler says she wants a financially independent
Yeah.
person, like, Dempsey is financially independent. You were,
Uh-huh.
like, pushing her into weird corners.
But then she kinda blames quote, blames the wrong word, but says
Yeah.
that this was Dempsey's idea and she's just along for the ride.
You believe that?
No, I don't believe that. That's such a weird thing for her to say. It's like, Statler, between the 2 of you, you're not the stable one.
Yeah, Statler calls Dempsey the impulsive one, and she's just holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
She also, right before that, says that she can't sell any of her stuff and is waiting till the last minute. So that to me is like,
Maybe it's not gonna happen, but
I mean, maybe.
YouTube needs this channel.
I think that proves that she has ADHD because she's not doing anything till the last moment. And then we've also seen her just be like, I think wanting to move in with someone that you just met in person is super impulsive. Like, what? I don't understand this projection that she has. Statler says that she thinks that moving into this camper van and traveling around in a small space with Dempsey is going to make her grow, but, like, how exactly?
Beats me.
Like, you're gonna have to learn to live with less stuff? You're going to, like, hate each other because you're in, like, the same 10 square feet and you don't really know each other that
Yeah, dude,
well?
it's gonna be small.
Like, I don't know if this is growth or just, like, unnecessary duress.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do any of this.
Finding out that you don't like living in a van,
Yeah,
that's growth.
that's growth, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre.
Let's talk about before we get to Natalie, which I thought was a stupid cameo.
It's really weird.
Let's talk about how they brought up that Statler had bragged about doing it in church during mass.
I'm just like, why would you need to do that? Her excuse is that she was young and drunk, but, like, why did you just, like, wander into a church on your, like, walk home from clubbing? Like, why were you there if you were drunk already?
I don't know, but Jasmine says, "How was it? I'm just curious, see if I should try it."
Like, yeah, Jasmine's looking for, like, logistics. She's like, "Where exactly? Where are the good
Yeah, was it in the
angles?"
confessional? Was it by the organ?
Yeah.
Might have just been in the bathroom, like
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have so many questions about how she got there, but I also don't wanna know.
I also think it's an exaggeration,
Probably, yeah. It's probably like the elevator thing. It was just, like, fingering or something.
but big sin is what Nicola says.
And she should ask for forgiveness. Like, okay, I guess, like, lust is a sin, so, like, having sex at all before you're married is a sin?
God, he used the word sin so many times this episode.
I know, it's so annoying.
No, that would be sin. That'd be a sin. Big sin.
Dempsey says that she's when asked, Dempsey says she's not bothered by the number of
Mhm.
people that Statler has been with.
I don't think you can judge people's past.
I think she is bothered. Why would she care to like sage her vagina? Or maybe that was a
'Cause
joke.
that's
Maybe
funny.
yeah, okay. I'm taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Feel like you should, like, sage a vagina, sage a penis, like, after, like, a bad session.
You know what I was wondering about? So she saged her vagina, but she didn't sage like her mouth or her like face,
Fingers, butthole.
fingers. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that she kind of missed there. Makes me wonder if Dempsey knows how to have gay sex, but that's another.
Well, she did we forgot to say that thing about the donut.
Oh.
Who asked did Nicola ask why he said donut?
I think so.
Idiot.
Don't worry, he had 5th grade science class
Yes,
anatomy,
yes,
so
yes. Mhm.
he knows it all. Knows it all.
Yeah, before we jump into Natalie, I just wanna say Statler's face was just so blank and dumb a
She
lot of the time that they were talking to her.
She has much like James Franco, she has a chronic case of dumb face where they just kind of have like a neutral expression. You can project a lot onto it, but it mostly just looks stupid and vapid. Yeah.
Yeah, like, confused. Just
Yeah.
like, "Huh?" Like, kinda pissed off too. But anyway.
I imagine she probably has like some kind of processing situation going on with because we see her ADHD be pretty like unmanaged. So I imagine just having all these people kind of like yelling around, like she doesn't seem to have any quick comebacks, like Jasmine. I think she's just like probably just trying to take it all in and keep up.
You're being nice to her. Natalie, the Statler's friend, comes and says that she's not sure Dempsey is special. And Natalie came off as a bitch, but I think what she meant was, I don't know what, like, sets Dempsey apart from the other girls that Statler falls for.
Yeah, it was like very Dempsey focused. It also like she also kind of like demonized Dempsey because I think,
Yeah.
like, she's the person that Statler is complaining about the relationship, and she, like, can't like, Natalie as an adult should be able to compartmentalize that, like, Statler is telling her bad stuff about the relationship because she's a close friend. Statler also shouldn't be doing that all the time if she wants Natalie to like Dempsey, but that, like, Dempsey is more complex than just all of the problems that Statler is probably telling her about?
Yeah. And I also feel like she came on this tell-all to be like that good friend that just is looking out for her friend and, you know, wary of this British girl and,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, why isn't her opinion valid? I'm Statler's friend. Shouldn't my opinion matter to you, Dempsey?
Dempsey's like, "Fuck no." No, I do not care. I just couldn't get over how blue is not this woman's color.
Dude, she looked really cheesy.
She's too pale for
Like her
blue.
entire outfit was cheesy and her
Yeah.
voice was super annoying.
Yeah, the vibe was off. I don't yeah, it's true. Yeah, she did try and come on and be a concerned friend, but I think, like, she was so focused on the bad things that Statler had told her about Dempsey and their communication issues that she, like, wasn't necessarily seeing Dempsey as a whole person outside of, like, whatever Statler is telling her. Because, like, also, I don't find Statler to be a reliable narrator,
Nope. Nope.
and, like, Natalie knows Statler's flaws, knows that Statler moves really quickly and, like, falls hard, so, like, why don't you take what Statler's telling you about Dempsey with a grain of salt?
100%. That's the piece that's missing is she knows Statler's issues, but then putting all of it on Dempsey is just unfair and incorrect. So they had talked about couples therapy. but they got workbooks instead.
Dempsey looks so annoyed that this is being brought up.
Yeah.
'Cause and she even says, like, "I don't wanna discuss this because we already talked about it." And so, while I do see Dempsey's side of this, she did sign up for this show, and she should know that shit's gonna come up more than once, and it's gonna be dramatized, and that's how that works. So, while I see it's probably very annoying, just shutting down when you're asked a question isn't necessarily good. It's not gonna give you the good edit.
True, true. And now they are currently both undecided about kids.
This is so you know what? Maybe they deserve each other. I thought Dempsey was, like, more mature than this, but clearly she's been, like, vaginamatized by Statler somehow. I don't get it at all. Like,
Earlier when you were like, "Should we talk about looks?" Did you mean, like, the looks they were making or their outfits?
outfits.
Okay. I thought Dempsey looked cool.
I thought she looked like she was on Dallas.
I mean, her hair wasn't that big.
No, it wasn't that big, but I feel like the curls in combination with, like, the jewel tone and just, like, the cut of the dress
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
a lot of blush. She had a lot of blush on. She looked really good. It just my immediate thought was, like, Dallas, and then I was like, "Okay, no, she does look nice. Stop being an asshole."
Statler, on the other hand, put a bra on or get a dress that fits or like a onesie that fits you.
Why shorts? That like, I could see that being a cool jumpsuit if the pants were long, but it was a bizarre choice to go with shorts with something like that.
Yeah, and her hair looked like how my hair looks while I'm, like, in the middle of doing it. Like it just was like, what was that?
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
did Jasmine's too, though. It looked like incomplete. It, like, wasn't even like a bun, it was just like her hair was pulled back, and I don't know if it was, like, pinned up or whatever. It wasn't like a ponytail, but, you know, when you're just, like, you're getting dressed and you just, like, put your hair back?
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say that Statler was like the most fashionable person that we saw on this season.
No,
So,
no. Um, Jumping to Meisha and Nicola, Meisha was in Tiffany blue with
mhm.
a dated neckline that I just wasn't into, but her face and hair looked awesome.
She can really, yeah, she really knows how to put herself together. She does have some like, yeah, like that weird, like two-toned lace dress. I think she's just like shopping at she's a Maxinista, looking for a bargain, but I think she could do a little better. Did
Yeah.
Nicola whiten his teeth?
Oh, they did look good, didn't they?
They were
Yeah,
like
he did.
blinding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, next week, he's flying to New York
Why isn't he there now?
because he's an idiot.
Like why would a week make a difference in your trip if you're going to come anyways and you don't have a real job? Like just be there for the tell all.
You're right. But this way, it was a little bit more suspenseful because then we get to find out that after a year and a half, the tribunal she's received an answer. She's got the annulment. Breaking news.
Yeah, no big fucking surprise. You work for the church. So let's see. She's been waiting for this for 18 months, and a K-1 visa takes 2 years, thereabouts. So she could have applied for them at the same fucking time.
But they didn't know if they wanted to marry each other. Now
Sure.
she just knows that she can marry anyone.
Yeah, maybe. Do you feel more certain about their relationship or less certain about their relationship after this? Like, where do you fall on that spectrum after seeing this segment before we, like, really get into it?
I feel less certain.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
really weird.
her reactions are super hard to read, like, I have no idea. I do know that she is obsessed with her daughters, and it was really cute to watch. Like, anytime her daughters said something, she was just like, "Ah," like, looking at them like they're angels, and I really I'm not, like, super touchy-feely about that, but I thought it was really cute to watch.
Oh, sounds like you are. So, after we hear about the annulment, Jasmine yells. And they're both ready for marriage, and he says, "Under the covenant of God." He was so religious the whole time, but, like, really driving it home during this
Oh
tell-all.
my god, like, yeah, he doesn't know how to do anything if it's not biblical. So, okay, they're they're both super ready to get married after spending time with each other in Israel. Why did she wait 5 years to go see him? I still don't understand that timeline. Like, they were chatting, they had, like, an online relationship for 7 years.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Oh, maybe he had a girlfriend. No, that's off. I don't know,
I
just slow play.
like, is she just gonna, like, keep pushing this off? Like, "Oh, I need the annulment. Oh, I need the visa." Like,
Oh, you think it's her, pushing it in the distance?
yeah, like, some of the faces she was making when, like, they were replaying the videos of him just being an asshole and being dismissive, and then hearing all of her, like, daughter's concerns, like, she would looked, like, very upset and, like, genuinely concerned about, like, her life and the future with this guy. And so, I'm just like, "Yeah, what are these, like, goalposts that you, like, seem to be moving around?" It was just odd to me a little bit.
Yeah, the 7 years thing, I mean, it could just be, like, logistics with her raising her daughters and, like, switching careers, him inviting her. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Um, they really laid into him about how he thinks that he's gonna be fine with sex. Some of my favorite quotes were that Riley gives him 38.7 seconds.
Oh, that was so gross.
I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, it's funny, but, like, just the way he was, like, jerking around was, like, kinda gross.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Before they start, like, laying into him about this, though, Shaun Robinson, she's all, like, journalistic, and she goes, "Nicola is a 46-year-old virgin, and he's not ashamed of it."
Like, she could be, like,
I'm like,
in the newsroom at, like, CNN.
no. Next up at 6, Nicola, a 46-year-old man, has never put P in V. Like,
But has taken a 5th grade sex ed class.
exactly. More on that at 10. Like, I just thought it was so funny. It's like, Sean, maybe he should feel some shame. Is that what you're saying?
Well, he totally should feel shame that he thinks he will know what to do, and,
And then
like
Sean asks why he's so confident. He says, it's not rocket science." Oh, the way Meisha turned to him after Sean asked that question. Sean asked him why he's thinks he's so confident about being able to pleasure a woman, and Misha did this, like, slow turn to, like, look at the screen and be like, "Hmm, I am curious about that myself."
God created sex between man and a woman, so it shouldn't be that hard.
Not rocket science.
No, Misha's gonna teach him.
She says she's going to crawl around on him, and they're gonna figure it out.
Can't wait to consummate the marriage.
Bleh, oh my god. Like,
She said
Have
all that right before her daughters came on.
I know. Jasmine yells out. Did you hear Jasmine yell out? He has a proper
I did hear that. Oh, because she had crawled around on him with clothes on.
yeah. Does that mean that Nicola is hung so he won't have to do a lot?
It's not true. You still have to do stuff.
The way you rolled your eyes.
You know how experienced I am.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god.
Oh, we learned that Viagra is a sin.
Okay, this was creepy to me. They both say it's a sin because it's man-made chemicals and it's not natural, and I'm like, anti-vaxxers.
Oh, but what about the Botox in her face?
Okay, touche. I know. The, like, mountains of filler in her cheeks and her
Yeah.
lips.
But y but you're also right, probably anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, you got a point there, and I don't think that's gonna stop this woman from being an anti-vaxxer and thinking the earth is flat, so holy shit. Yeah. Oh, wait, Statler is like, "The sex is gonna be weird, and it's gonna be weird, and you're both gonna feel shame about it."
She's like, "It's gonna start on your knees and end on your knees, but not in, like, a fun way, in a
I
guilty way."
so weird.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. She's like almost she's like almost obnoxiously atheist or agnostic or whatever. For me, I'm like, the way that she talks to them, it's like, let people, like, yeah, they're stupid. They're Catholic. Like, just chill out. Like, you yelling at them and being weird is not gonna make them less Catholic. Like, just the way that, like, her rhetoric is like just trying to attack like faith itself is what I think is really
Yeah.
obnoxious for me.
Yeah, I agree. Um, okay, so the daughters come on, and Statler's like a doomsdayer. Like, he's gonna judge you. It's gonna break the relationship between your mom and you. I didn't think that that was appropriate for her to say, especially
Absolutely
like
not.
right off the bat.
She
Like
said Nicola's going to force the daughters out of the home.
projecting.
Projecting, yes, and also, like, did you notice that their mom is right there? Like, their mother is right there? Did you notice that?
No, no, she
Like
didn't.
yeah, it was just really out of pocket, and I don't know, I just really loved watching Misha watch her daughters come in. I thought it was super duper cute. She's, like, clearly obsessed with them. Nicholas, so there was like a lot of discussion about this, and so I'm very curious what you think. Like, Nicholas says Misha is the boss of her children, but he is man. And so man is boss of house, and man tell woman what do. Woman follow man, but woman also boss of children in house?
It was contradictory. He kept quoting the Bible, which I don't even know if he those are real Bible
I
things
think
to quote.
to Nicola, they're biblical. I don't think they're verbatim.
Yeah. I think that he doesn't think deeply or critically, so he doesn't understand that he was contradicting himself. I think
Yeah.
he knows to say that Misha's their mom, so she's the boss of them, but then doesn't get that he's contradicting himself by then saying, "Woman was made for man, not man made for women, and
Ugh.
women follow man."
Her
Like,
daughters are cracking up at him. They think he is a joke, which he is, but, like, I'm like, "This is gonna be bad fucking news." Like, if this man is in your house.
yeah. And they both were wearing crosses, so they're both religious to an extent, but they seem, well, a lot less religious than their mom. But at the same time, Misha, okay, if she's a flat earther, anti-vaxxer, okay. But she's also a single mom who raised these 2 girls. So she's in this modern world. So, yeah. Amanda, shut your mouth.
Oh my god, this for me was like, "Oh, of course Amanda agrees with Nicola." She also has not a single independent thought and also has a smooth brain with no no fissures, no cavities, no textures.
And an ugly dress and dumb shoes.
She's just like, yeah, she has like evil eyes. Like her eyes just look like hollow and evil. Like she just is not a good person. It like emanates off of her. Just bad energy.
Amanda. But okay, back to Misha. So, while Nicola was talking and basically talking out of both sides of his mouth, and then, like, Christian kinda chimes in, and there's just, like, this back and forth where it just does not seem like Nicola respects women,
Oh,
and
no,
that
never.
him moving in or him visiting whatever he's doing, it's gonna be a learning curve to say the least. Misha is so quiet and she gets, like, small. It made me so sad, and that's not her. Like, we've seen it.
I think I'm curious if she's like regretting putting this all on TV in this moment because like she was clearly like upset in Israel like when he was saying all these things and like bewildered, but like her daughters are now in the same room. Nicola's arriving next week. Like it's all coming together. Like like is it just now hitting her like how
Yeah,
intense this is
maybe.
gonna be? Like she like thought she'd be able she keeps saying like she'll hold her own and her daughters hold her own, but like is that the kind of household that you wanna have? Where like your daughters have to be constantly like defending
Standing up for
themselves,
themselves, yeah.
like affirming their own existing, affirming their choices, and then you're caught in between these 2 different like groups of people, these 2 different like ideologies and ways of life. Like that just sounds super duper exhausting. And it's not like it's
Totally.
going to go away because these are young girls and like maybe they live at home for a few years if they're not going to college or they go to college and then they come home on breaks and they're going to have to be living with Misha again. And then it's like I mean even beyond, you know, that kind of like early stage of adulthood, just like every Christmas, every like gathering is going to be tense.
Totally, yeah, and he's hard-headed. Like, so during the break, she FaceTimes him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm good, Misha," and she's like, "What? Like, how are you
How?
good?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm stressed, but my relationship is with you." And she's like, "We're a package deal." Like, he's so short-sighted. It's
Like, is he just gonna in his mind, I feel like he's gonna sit at the breakfast table and drink his coffee or whatever. The girls are gonna be there and like what? He's not gonna talk to them? He's not gonna like
well, he's gonna talk to them about the Bible. Which
Yeah.
she put it really well. She was like, you can't just hide behind, like, the Bible and quoting the Bible."
Yeah. It can't be a biblical sermon all the time.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why? My goal is to never not talk about Jesus."
Oh my god. Oh, and he's gonna treat her daughters like Jesus Christ would. So, talking about God all the time.
Wait, I don't know. Is that like how would Jesus treat them?
Well, he'd, like, wash their feet and, like, give them wine and probably feed them and stuff, but then also talk about God.
Okay. Okay. Wash their
Um,
feet.
like, he says that there's no way out,
I know, that scared me.
that this is the man that she has to be with, and Statler's over there screaming like, "There's other Catholic dudes, like, what are you doing?" And it just doesn't she doesn't wanna acknowledge it, obviously, right in front of Nicola, but, like, yeah, why this one if it's gonna be so intense with your daughters?
Yeah. I wish someone would ask her what her breaking point is.
Oh, like they did with Gino?
Gino, yeah. I think she was the one that asked Gino. 'Cause, yeah, what do you
Yeah.
think her breaking point would be? Like, him yelling at the girls?
After seeing this, like, I don't really know, because she seems
Mhm.
to think, like, oh, the girl like, she seems to think it'll figure itself out and that they'll just, like, reprimand like, she seems to think that Nicola will be, like, a new family dog, and they will just, like, reprimand him and, like, train him to, like,
Yeah, 'cause
be obedient, and that's
there's
not how this man operates. He doesn't learn.
no. But I was gonna say, there was no talk of, like, him as a husband or him as, like, a father figure or like, it's just yeah, he's like a family dog.
Yeah. Like, because I mean, yeah, he's not gonna be dad. They also have a dad, we just don't know if he's in the US or if he's, like, in
We think he's in
Sweden still.
Sweden. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
very, very
He was probably
interesting.
really hot.
I mean, both the daughters are gorgeous, like, they clearly, take after their mom, but, like, there's definitely some hot Swedish genes in there for sure. I'm very curious how this shakes out. Like, maybe she's just, like, hedging on this K-1 visa to get on another season of Before the 90 and then 90 Day. Maybe she just wants to be on TV, and then maybe she hopes that the wedding doesn't work out or something. Who knows?
I mean, I love a failed love story. So
Uh,
I'll be here for it.
you're a hater, and I love you for that.
Yeah. Riley and Violet.
Holy shit, yeah.
So Riley knows that the relationship is toxic. It's kind of surprising
I
to
was
me.
like when he was in the green room, he seemed to, like, really be owning, like, the bullshit. Like, I'm curious if he also isn't screaming, and I'm wondering if it's because he's in a room with other men or he just saw himself on TV and he's like, "I need to reel that in."
True.
I also I don't know how to feel about either of them. I might be team no one at this point. Like, I
Yeah,
feel like
both of them seem to suck.
yeah, like, I realized when I was thinking about how this tell-all was gonna shake out, I'm like, because I was reading all this stuff about how people think Violet is so sus, and I'm like, I definitely have, like, an anti-patriarchal bias. Like, I'm more likely to believe a woman, especially, like, a woman of color, who's, like, not the American, you know what I mean? When I'm watching 90 Day, I'm usually, like, rooting for the person that's not the American, and
Yeah.
so I feel like I maybe was seeing Violet through some rose-colored glasses or something because of that bias, but this all made me feel they're both so weird to me at this point. But yeah, let's get into it. Tiffany shows up, or they just show Tiffany again with the glasses yelling at
Yeah.
Violet, and
Mhm.
she's saying that she didn't remember her password, but then later she's saying that she, like, deleted the app. Like, it's just so many, like, different things, like, when they show it all together.
I don't think that she deleted the app on her phone. She didn't know
Yes.
she needed to go in and delete the account
Yes.
and She forgot her password, so even if she knew, she couldn't go in and delete the account.
But then she's also in there, like, she's saying her excuse for her being active, like, quote unquote, 2 days before Riley went and checked on her was because she was in there checking on Riley.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, that definitely was weird.
I'm like, "What is it?" It
Yeah,
just all was a very, like, muddled mess for both of them.
yeah. I also don't care. They don't trust each other. It doesn't matter. I don't think I, like, technically deleted accounts from dating apps, like but sorry, I wanna back up to the clip that they show. One of the clips that they show of Riley and Violet is Riley telling Violet that he hired a private investigator, and
Right. How normal it is
yeah,
in the
and
US
then
to do that.
the majority of people, like, from the cast are not agreeing with him, and Jasmine's like, "Wha" Then you've got Amanda agreeing with your dumbass, and Tyree and Christian. That's not good company to keep.
No. And also, Tyrate, just because you got catfish one time doesn't mean you need to privately investigate every other person that you date.
Yeah, just
Like,
get on the phone. Get
yeah.
on the phone.
And Riley is saying, so Riley like backtracks. He's like, okay, it's not common for just like every other Americans, but for Americans dating internationally, it's really common. And I'm
And
like,
you have a room full of those, like-minded people.
exactly. And I'm like, Riley is on some sex tourist Reddits where they are telling each other to do this. Like, this is not something I
Oh,
think that
cool.
I don't think he came up with this on his own. I think he
Cool.
was on Reddit or in some weird men's group for dating Vietnamese women, and they were like, "You gotta privately investigate. Here's the dude I used, and you gotta make sure that they're taking pregnancy tests in front of you and da da
Yeah,
da." Like,
have them pee in front of you.
yeah, like, I don't think this is something Riley came up with on his own. I think
Yeah, that's a
he
good
heard
point.
this somewhere and he's like, "Yeah, everybody does this because me and the 10 dudes are in that Reddit thread do it."
Sidebar, I'm pretty sure one of my neighbors is gonna be a sex tourist in Indonesia. Because
Proud.
how did I find that out? I finally, like, introduced myself to this one guy that I've been, like, walking past for, like, months and, and whatever, like, we just, like, get to talking, and he says that he's going to Indonesia for 6 weeks, and I was like, "Wow, that sounds awesome, like, what are you going there for?" And he's just kinda like, "It should be fun." I'm like, "Gotcha, man."
Gross. You should say something weird like, "Oh, I hear people go over there to have sex," or that's not covert enough, sorry. You should go be like, "Oh, I hear Indonesian women are really pretty."
Oh. Okay, next time I see him, we'll go, "Do you know that the women that you're gonna be around are really beautiful?"
Yeah, and see what he says, and if he's like, yeah," then I think you have your answer.
Okay.
How old is he, do you reckon?
I'm pretty sure he's, like, retired, but he's probably, like, late 50s, early
Okay, yeah,
60s.
prime sex tourist age.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Um, anyway, okay, so Tiffany, she's a diva jerk. Oh, Jasmine has another incredible quote about unprotected sex. Ah, she's beautiful.
He says that he's caught her in lies, but he doesn't say
Yeah,
what lies?
and he said that he caught her and it seemed like it was, like, a while ago, and then he, like, used the family to get back in touch with him, like, yeah, whatever. But so someone had asked, like, "Well, why did you wanna, like, hide this, that they slept together?" And she gives this, like, long-winded answer that's basically just like Chinese culture, like, you can't broadcast that. You can't have a woman going into a hotel with a man, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm taking her word for it.
I believe
Personally,
that.
yeah. Personally, I wouldn't want anyone to know if I had sex with Riley either.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Like, I wonder if
regardless
the
of culture.
like, you know how they were so weird and somber when they said goodbye? Like, do you think maybe the sex was, like, weird and that's why they were she was so weird about it and, like, "Don't tell me you love me," like, you're like,
Hey,
you kiss weird.
or he mentioned their height difference and, like, "It was fun." Like,
Oh my god, and she's like, "Oh
sure,
my
man.
god, you, like, threw me around like you're a
Yeah.
pogo stick, like, no thanks." Yeah.
And he probably lasted 42.7 seconds.
That's why he has such an exact
Yeah.
count.
Then they start talking about the pregnancy test, and Riley says something really obnoxious like, I'm a reasonable person, and, like, if you take the pregnancy test, don't you like, are you a reasonable person, Riley? Like, aren't you gonna go to a hospital and take a pregnancy test? Sure. But then she starts talking about the different the international hospital versus a regular hospital, and, like, it's expensive,
Mhm.
and he's like, "I had a card on file at the hospital."
She's like from her perspective, she didn't wanna go there and get saddled with a bill, it sounds like.
Yeah, but then he says, "I have a card on file at a hospital." Like, it's a fucking subscription membership, like, to Amazon, like, no, douchebag. Like, I don't know how the Vietnamese healthcare system works, but I'm pretty sure there's no card on file
Yeah, it's odd, and, like, I could see how is she you don't trust each other, period. You don't trust each other. So why would she go to a hospital where she doesn't know what the charge is gonna be? They could charge her up the wazoo because it's like more probably a more expensive international hospital, and then you say you're gonna pay for it, and then she gets left with the bill. Like, for what? Why would she do that? So I don't hold that against her. I mean, I didn't hold it against her before because, like, that's stupid. She can pick her own doctor, but they just leave us on a cliffhanger of whether or not she's pregnant, which is so
with
rude.
Riley's baby. What do you think she's gonna say?
I don't I don't think she's pregnant.
I don't think she's pregnant
I'm
either.
really disappointed that she would lie about something like that. It's
We're
like,
never gonna find out if she lied about it, because what I think's gonna happen is she's gonna say, "I'm not pregnant, I had a miscarriage."
yeah, which is also super shitty to,
Yeah.
like, lie about. Um,
But she's coming to the US. That's what we heard on the, like, next time on.
he
What?
like, when they were talking about how they broke up before and, like, got back together, Riley was like, "Have you ever been, like, in love with the idea of, like, being in love with someone?" And then he, like, acts like he is so definitive with her with, like, everything all the time. He just gets, like, really activated and, like, riled up. They treat each other really shitty, and then they're, like, back in each other's DMs. Like, this doesn't feel that different from, like, Gino and Jasmine, but they're a lot
Yeah.
less funny.
Yeah. True. Mhm.
Like, what are you getting out of this? I wish we could have seen Tiffany's reaction to Violet coming to the US because
Maybe we
I
will
don't
next week.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like Tiffany kinda scolded him for not bringing condoms.
Yeah. This is the second time.
Yeah, and so I like seeing her a little bit more mad at Riley because she's directed so much of her anger at Violet, but, like, they're both idiots,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah. Okay. So, fuck, marry, kill, the 3 different guests.
Oh.
Natalie, Misha's daughters and Tiffany.
The daughters at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, Natalie. Okay. I'm gonna marry. Oh, that's so creepy though. If I marry the daughters, that's like child
Sister
brides.
wives. That's fine.
Sister wives.
You're not touching them.
Okay. Okay, I'll marry the daughters. I hope they're both
Consenting.
yeah, consenting. Yikes. I'm gonna fuck Tiffany because she honestly, I bet you know what? I bet she's fun when she's not screaming about Violet.
Yeah. Do
Like,
you see those shoes and that outfit she's wearing? She also had like some nice cleavage.
yeah, the pleather leggings, like I bet
Yeah.
she's fun. She just like Riley is probably the friend she keeps around to feel better about her life.
Oh, whoa. Now I gotta think in my own world who I am for that. Sure.
So yeah, okay, I'll fuck Tiffany and then Natalie.
You gotta kill her.
She seemed really nervous. That's probably why she didn't come off great, but yeah, it just didn't really do much for me.
You know, I was gonna kill her because she was fucking annoying. You were a lot nicer about it, but yeah, I agree with your choices.
Do you wanna talk a little bit about the next time on and what we
There
may or may
was
not
so
be
much.
lied to about?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Statler says Christian's best friend is the mirror and that nobody likes his jokes.
Mhm.
True.
And then potentially we're gonna call Christian the catfisher. Tyree's just chilling in Modesto, a little ill, but we're gonna call Christian.
I think
Hopefully go ahead.
it's just kind of it's so rude that like I feel like David and Sheila and Tyree were like kind of equally boring, but Tyree doesn't get to go to New York because he doesn't have like a partner to show, you know?
So he gets to be the screen. There can only
Yeah,
there needs to be one screen per
yeah,
couple.
I guess. Yeah, and he's at David and Sheila show up briefly. What?
Yeah, and they ask him if he's talked to Amy.
Oh, so weird. So bizarre.
I think he's gonna say yes, and it's to arrange sign language ASL classes or ASL
Oh,
tutoring. That's my guess.
but Amy was also kinda mean about Sheila not knowing ASL, so maybe she wouldn't
Yeah,
be the
so
best
she'd
teacher,
be oh
but
my god, no, she'd be the best teacher. I had this one math tutor who would, like, yell at me, and I'm like, "A plus B equals C."
okay. I don't respond well to screaming, but it works for some people, I guess. Jasmine says Amanda was being very mean to Razvan, and Amanda says she was just processing emotions. So, yeah, love Amanda. Couldn't love her anymore. What the fuck is that to say? I was just terrible to this man for 6 weeks because I was processing emotions, and every time I have an emotion, it just comes out as me being a terrible witch.
Well, she's childish. She's a child.
She's also stupid. She's so stupid. God, just hollow behind the eyes. It's like glaring. Yeah, and then we talked to the woman that Christian met in the bar.
I know.
Like, I thought she was living in Belgium. She
No,
came
she
there
went
just
to
to
Belgium for
Oh, okay.
she went to Belgium for Thanksgiving because she
Also, what a weird way to get on reality TV.
I
Like
respect it, and I can't wait.
I'm like, do you get like yeah, how do you make that into 15 minutes? How do you capitalize on that on Instagram? Like being
We'll find out.
an auxiliary character. Yeah. I like want to try and I need to find her Instagram. Like I want to try and find it and see like how many followers she gets overnight after the finale or the tell-all
Ooh.
airs. TBD. I'll do some sleuthing.
Well, I can't wait for the second part of the tell-all.
Same. It's going to be exciting. All right. I think that's it for us. Thanks for
Mhm.
listening. And we will see you next week for part 2 of season 6 Before the 90 Tell All.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Good evening.